Svanda, we grow up in juice.
But officer, don't pick up with this. Hapana zvatakamboita.
My farisa.
Sakamosha, day na officer.
Amziye musha makapare mimi.
Takachingofara hedu.
Kufarisa.
Handiti yini mota yakangouya handitika. Pakangouya kapa ndobva wafarira kuti pakuitwa nyaya dzebusiness chete. Ndobva tatanga kumhanya tichitotengesa kuti wanoka something.
Svanda. Kana kusina pinjiso yanegaka. Muchiti chii.
Tiri 15 kudaro taite.
Uyaone resident jamani. Resident. Give us the word. You get it, sir. Resident.
Mighty chi?
Resident.
Hey. So the new road chi manje. Pray. Svanda imbomira mchana. Ayo, mighty president. There you were 15 and saying president.
Ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, welcome back to The Week with me, Comrade Fatso. I go away for a few weeks and come back to find that there's a dark forces army on social media without me. The hurumende is giving away 3.5 billion. George Charamba is saying Futeke to the ANC, and Job Sikala is in the bush as a guerrilla fighter. What's been going on? But first, we give a moment of reflection for my brother, Fatso Nzamara, a true fighter for a new Zimbabwe. Rest in power, Baba. We start off with land reform. The hurumende has been firefighting for the past 2 months after it became public that they were going to pay 3.5 billion USD in compensation to white farmers who lost their farms during the land resettlement program. Yes, it's true, comrades. Even me, I was shocked. I was like, billion chayo. We all know that ED and 2% don't even have 450 bucks to pay civil servants per month, let alone 3 bids. But that's not all. The hurumende then announced that it was going to be giving back land to former farmers who'd been dispossessed of their land during the land resettlement program. And that is when everyone lost it. I'm not even exaggerating here. Even mawovets akajamuka.
To us, this is nonsense. You can say what you want to say about, but that's our opinion. This is a sellout agreement. That is our opinion. This is just too much. For lack of development of Africa, you rub it in kuti teenage query. This is unbearable. Unbearable.
Yep. A group of war vets has given Zanu PF a 48-hour ultimatum to drop the white farmers' compensation pledge. I guess the new agriculture minister, Anxious Masuka, is really living up to his name now. So what's really happening? Is Zanu PF selling out? Well, that's a difficult question because we all know that Zanu PF couldn't even sell a freeze-it on a hot October day. The better question to ask is, are these two deals meant to undo the land reform program? And the answer is, not quite. There's two different announcements. There's the 3.5 billion which will get given to the Commercial Farmers Union for renovations which they made to the land, which was then repossessed under the land reform program. The second is an offer to give back land to indigenous black farmers and farmers who had their land protected under bilateral investment agreements, aka my foreign farmers in Holland. It's important to mention that these two deals are not linked in any way. So the CFU aren't technically getting their land back, they're just getting a measly 3.5 bidza. I mean, what can you do with 3.5 bidza anyway these days? Buy Zimbabwe? So why does the hurumende want to play nice and do these deals with former farmers? According to them, it's because the rule of law should prevail and they're following the constitution and that actually they're really nice, solid, cuddly guys underneath that junta exterior. The truth is that the hurumende has been getting their ass sued in international courts by farmers who lost their land during the land reform program. So the hurumende figured it's better just to give the land back. The hurumende also believes that the 3.5 bidza will unlock better relationships with the international community. Which makes sense because the US sanctions against Zimbabwe demand democracy as well as resolving the disputes with the white farmers. And I think Zanu was like, democracy, but I'm sure we can do a little something for my white farmers. So we're going to 3.5 bidza and then we make the poor pay for our debts like we did with the RBZ farm mechanization loans. Great idea, Mtuli. At the end of the day, the moral of the story is that land reform is irreversible until it isn't. And you, the poor, will foot the bills. After spending over 40 days in remand prison, journalist Hopewell Chimono and activist Jacob Ngarivume are finally out on bail, my comrades. Speaking to journalists after his release, Hopewell said that we'll soon be hearing from him on his Facebook page because he's been barred from using Twitter as part of his bail conditions. Clever one, Hopewell. Very clever. Ujambo Twitter pa Facebook. I see you. And they might as well find a job for Comrade Jacob in the ZRP. Because how can you ask someone to report to the police station on like Monday, Wednesday, Friday? I mean, I know police officers who don't even report to the police station that much. At the week, we're happy to see that they got bail, but they should never have been arrested in the first place. Police have rounded up vendors in Murehwa for the crime of clapping and cheering at Nelson Chamisa as he drove past from Patson Tamara's funeral. The vendors were detained for hours and ultimately charged with bogus crimes like obstructing the free flow of traffic. It's Murehwa, comrades. Hey, what traffic is there in Murehwa? I mean, Komagodi weapon next door just bought a Honda Fit, but yeah. Apparently, their crime was not knowing who their president is. They know who their president is, comrade officer, but clearly they don't want him. The attack on the vendors doesn't surprise me. In fact, I understand it. In over 3 years of being president, ED has never heard cheers that weren't either paid for or rehearsed. To see those kids jumping up and down must have been like a slap in the face. But comrade, then why did you fire cheerleaders of yours like Energy Mtodi? I guess you still have Nick Mangwana to cheer you on.
Oi, Biri. Diana kaita cut down my tree yangairi apa.
Iwe,
Diani.
Swanapu, ukude chiko panape.
Iwe, Biri.
Swanapu, uchageko pa mundo wangu.
And my pipes yangu andakasiya apo. Then who sold them, eh?
My pipes eriko babana pa man munda takapuwa ka mundo ukutara kuti chiko.
Brisky, we are back. The government has given back the farms to the white farmers, yeah?
Iwe, government ipuko, government yaka ndiyo yedu. Government ndiyo akatipa munda uno Swanapu.
The problem Biri is how we reading newspaper bichana. The government has given 3.5 billion in compensation to white farmers. Vanika is going to be back. Richards is going to be back. Right. And I'm back. Otherwise, I'm going to bring security and you're going to pay for it, bro. That's assault. You're going to pay for it. Security. Farm yangu, get off now.
3.5 billion. Government ichitadza kugadzira mahospital aidaro mano munyeba.
South African President Cyril Ramaphosa recently sent 2 special envoys to investigate the Zimbabwe crisis and to meet with the government, the opposition and civil society. Zanu PF picked them up from the airport, took them for tea and scones to State House and then took them back to the airport and said, now Cyril is going to try again. After a recent meeting of the ANC's decision-making body, the NEC, Cyril announced that he feels Zimbabwe's problems and he's going to send an ANC delegation. Hansi, we know you guys have problems just by looking at Beitbridge border post. Low blow mdara. But true. So of course, George Charamba is fuming. Hansi, South Africa is the youngest state in our region. It faces myriad problems like apartheid. It has no capacity to help any African state in SADC beyond friendly solidarity. Exactly. South Africa, murapana kwatiri. Plus apartheid, remember? Yeah, good. Sekman, as South African president and chairperson of the African Union, Cyril Ramaphosa has the power to influence positive change in Zimbabwe. There's no doubt that Zimbabwe is in a crisis, with a government that's brutalizing its own citizens and our economy that is imploding. If you want to put pressure on Cyril Ramaphosa to intervene in the Zimbabwe crisis, then sign the petition online that's asking for Cyril to speak out for Zimbabwe. Thanks for joining us on The Week. Follow Magama TV on social media. I've been Comrade Fatso. You have been the people. This has been The Week. Thank you. I'm back and Fruitsack.